Imagine sitting down for a nice long game of chess and then bam, it's over before you can even blink. We've all been there, caught off guard by a checkmate so fast it feels like a slap in the face. But what if I told you there are checkmates so quick they leave even the best players stunned? Learning checkmates is one of the best things a chess player can do when starting out. By knowing these quick checkmates, you can avoid easy losses and even score some fast wins yourself. Let's get started. In this video, I'll show you the 5 fastest checkmates that happen in just a few moves. The last one? It's practically a magic trick. Fool's mate. All right, let's talk about the fool's mate, the fastest checkmate ever. Ever wondered how quickly a chess game can end? Well, buckle up. Fool's mate is like a ninja attack in chess. 2 moves and that's it. Game over. But it only happens if your opponent makes 2 really bad moves right at the start. Here's how it goes down. White starts the game by moving their pawn to ef3, and black responds by f5. Now white plays g4, which is the worst move together with f3 to start the game. Here black sees the chance and swoops in with their queen and checkmate. White's left scratching their head. This is why it is called fool's mate, because your opponent has to be a bit foolish to fall for it. You might be wondering if this pattern works for white too. The answer is yes. Black can lose similarly to fool's mate, but it takes 1 extra move. If black advances their f-pawn and g-pawn, white can deliver checkmate on move 3 in what's called the reversed fool's mate. If you want to avoid this speedy defeat, you have to make sure you don't move your f-pawn early. It's like leaving your front door wide open. The squares of 2 and f7 are the weakest squares on the chessboard because they are only protected by the king. If you move your f-pawn early, you are only inviting dangerous attacks. Has this ever happened to you? Share your experience in the comments. Scholar's mate. Now let's talk about a classic. The scholar's mate? This one is a favorite among beginners. And for a good reason. It happens fast, but it's also very avoidable. So how does it work? White starts by moving their pawn to et4, to which black responds by pawn to e5. Now white moves their bishop to c4, and in response, black plays knight to c6, which is a really bad move in this situation. Now white moves the queen to h5 and goes straight for black's weakest point, the f7 square, using their queen and bishop in just 4 moves, both aiming at that poor, vulnerable f7 pawn and checkmate. It's quick, simple, and happens in the blink of an eye. But don't worry, defending against this is a piece of cake. Just make sure you protect your f7 square early. A simple move like 2g6 blocking the queen's path can save you from the embarrassment of an early loss. Smothered mate, Caro-Kann defense. Next up is a personal favorite of mine, the smothered mate. It sounds kind of grim, and trust me, for your opponent, it feels that way. In this pattern, the king is trapped by its own pieces with nowhere to go. This time, we're in the Caro-Kann defense, which is known for being solid until black misses a key moment. Here's how it happens. White pushes a 4, to which black responds with c6. After a few moves, white develops their knight to c3. After black captures white's pawn, the knight recaptures. Here, black plays knight to d7. Now white plays a surprising move, which is e2. It is not the best move, but it creates a really nasty threat for black. Black doesn't see the threat, thinking they're safe, and plays f6, and that's it. White plays knight to d6 in checkmate. Smothered mate. The king can't escape because it's completely surrounded by its own army. A brutal lesson in coordination, right? Bird's opening. Next we have the bird's opening. It's not super popular, but when it works, it delivers a serious blow. White kicks things off with f4, taking control of the center. The problem here is moving the f-pawn early weakens white's kingside, and black can capitalize on that immediately. Here's where things get spicy. Black plays a5, offering a gambit pawn, allowing the dark squared bishop and queen to develop. White captures the gambit pawn. Black challenges the white pawn on e5, and white captures it, allowing black's bishop to recapture. Now black's bishop and queen are poised for attack. White only has a couple of moves to play in order to avoid getting checkmated. White plays a really bad move, which is knight to c3. Black plays queen to h4, delivering a powerful checkmate. It's a perfect example of how sacrificing material early on can lead to big rewards, especially if your opponent isn't paying attention. Owen's defense, fool's mate pattern. Next is Owen's defense. It is a bit of an oddball. White plays a4 and black plays b6, aiming to fianchetto the light-squared bishop early. Seems harmless, right? Wrong. If black isn't careful, they'll quickly fall into a fool's mate trap. Here's how it happens. White begins with a 4, and black responds with b6, preparing for Owen's defense. White grabs the center with move d4, while black develops the light-squared bishop to b7. White develops with bishop to d3, and black pushes the f-pawn to f5. Here it is. Black pushes the f-pawn, thinking it will make white lose the g2 pawn and eventually the h1 rook. Black is right about one of these, but misses something crucial. White captures the f-pawn, and black plays bishop to g2, attacking white's rook. Now white plays their queen to h5, delivering a check, to which black responds by pawn to g6. Here, white's pawn captures the pawn on g2. Now black plays a really bad move here, which is knight to f6. White captures the pawn on h7 and sacrifices their queen. And with that queen sacrifice, white delivers an amazing checkmate on g6, making black look like a fool. A queen sacrifice leads to checkmate in just a few moves. The moral of the story? Don't be too eager to move your f-pawn in the opening. That square is the king's lifeline. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for new tips and tricks.